I decided to ask our good friend, Freddie, to come and speak to us today. So let me bring him out. Okay, well, let's see what our good friend Freddie has been up to lately. Hmm, what is this? Looks like a medal. That's not an Olympic medal, is it, Freddie? Well, not the real Olympics. That's a medal I got when I was in the Winter Olympics in Wyoming for amateur athletes. Oh, wow. That's a first place. What was it in? It was in the downhill skiing. You ski? Yeah, I do all kinds of winter sports. Wyoming is very cold in the winter. Skiing? Yeah. You gotta shush to the left, and shush to the right, left, right, left, right. Gotta make all the gates. It's pretty exciting. Then don't you go pretty fast too? Yeah, that's the thrill of it all. I'm a speed freak. Gee, wow. Well, what other things did you do up there in the wintertime? Well, I also did that event called Skeleton. Wow, that's that. Is that one where you're just on a little tiny little sled on your stomach head first? Yeah, 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 yeah. That one. Wow, that looks so scary. You have to lay real flat like this. And you have to lean left and lean right, and that's how you steer. Wow, that's so scary. How fast do those things go? Maybe about 50 miles an hour. Oh my gosh. I think frogs have an advantage in that sport though. Oh, how is that? Well, our skin is so slick, there's no wind resistance. Oh, gee, so amazing. You do the downhill and you do the skeleton. Gee, any other event? Well, I tried ice skating, but that didn't go too well. Ice skating. Well, ice skating is one of the favorite events that we like to watch. Wasn't wasn't that amazing what Nathan Chen did? Yeah. Too bad he fell earlier though. Poor guy fell so many times. But his last one was really, really good. He did 6 quads. Now, what's a quad? You spin around in the air 4 times. Wow, that was pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm sure he was very disappointed when he fell earlier, but I was really impressed with how he stuck to it. He didn't give up, and he did so well on his last skate. Yeah, it would have been easy, I would think, to kind of give up and just think, wow, I don't have a chance for a medal, so it would be, it would have been understandable if he had kind of given up, but he didn't, did he? No. That kind of reminds me of kind of a Japanese saying. I think it's rooted in Buddhism, but I can't say for sure. What's that? It's a Buddhist saying that says, you fall down 7 times, but you get up 8 times. Fall down 7 times and get up 8 times. What does that mean? It means you never give up. Even if you fall down 7 times, even if you fail 7 times, you get up 8. See, you get up 8. Oh, well, poor Nathan might have fallen about 7 times, I think. I think so. In this interview, it was interesting. He said, wow, how did you have the courage to do 6 quads in your last skate? And you know what he said? What did he say? He said, I have nothing to lose. I fell so many times. He just gave it everything. Yeah, that's amazing. So fall down 7 times and get up 8. Oh, never give up. That's right, never give up. Did you ever feel like giving up? Well, to be honest, when I was living and studying in Japan, in that first year, I didn't speak Japanese well, I didn't read Japanese well, and I was totally lost in class. And there were many times I think I wanted to give up and quit. Oh, but you didn't. No, mainly because my fellow students and teachers encouraged me. Well, good thing you didn't quit, otherwise I wouldn't be here. I'd still be in cold Wyoming. Well, I guess it is a good thing I didn't quit. And I'm glad I didn't, because, yes, I wouldn't have met you too. Whoa. Well, I guess everyone feels like quitting sometimes, but you just gotta get back up again. That's right, Freddie. That's right. You just keep trying. So, doesn't matter what it is, whether you lose all of your games in basketball, your whole season, you don't win a single game, but you look forward to the next season, right? Yeah, I guess so. And even if you have a piano recital and you forget your piece and you make a big mistake and it's really embarrassing, well, next time you'll do better. Yeah, I never had that happen, but it would be hard. Or you don't get into the college that you really, really wanted to get into, but that's okay. Find another college to go to and do your best there. Yeah, fall down 7 times and get up 8. That's a good saying to remember. Okay, very good. Well, I gotta go now. I think the Olympics are on. Okay, what are you gonna cheer for next? I don't know. Maybe the Jamaican bobsled team. Okay, let's enjoy the Winter Olympics. Okay, bye. So I'm sure there's times when we all feel like quitting. Doesn't matter whether it's sports, whether it's a job, whether it's a volunteer position here, being bazaar chairman, or I'm sure Howard Nakagiri and Bill Sakahara, they had more than 7 falls and 8 getting up. I think it was like 100 times they had to fall and 101 times they stood up again to complete this project. Hurdle after hurdle, rain and construction delays, but they didn't give up, did they? And the whole history of Buddhism is filled with tremendous stories like that. Tremendous resolve, facing failure, facing great obstacles, but yet just keeping on the path. That's how Buddhism came to us over the many, many centuries. Monks literally carried Buddhism on their backs. And like a backpack, they carried the sutras and tread step by step from India through mountains, through deserts, to bring Buddhism from India to China. And then the same thing occurred again, hundreds and hundreds of years later, to bring Buddhism from China to Korea, then Korea to Japan, and on and on and on. The transmission of Buddhism is filled with such an amazing stories of great sacrifice, of great resolve. There is a famous story in our Shin Buddhist tradition about during Renyo Shonin's time, there was a fire at the temple, and Renyo Shonin had the only handwritten copy of Shinran Shonin's Kyogyo Shinsho, and it was in the temple. One of the followers knew the text was there, ran into the fire, ran into the temple, found the text, and then collapsed on the text to save the text. And it was saved from the fire by that individual. So, countless stories like that. There's another story that I heard once from a minister that I think is really amazing. There's an amazing Buddhist professor in Japan. His name is Professor Hajime Nakamura. He worked on a Buddhist dictionary. Took him years to work on. This is days before computers, You could put it on your computer, save it on the computer. He had hundreds of pages of this Buddhist dictionary that he was going to publish. And he had an assistant. And he and his assistant worked on this for years and years. All these definitions of Buddhist terms. Nearly complete. But his assistant somehow lost the manuscript. Lost the only copy of the manuscript. But what does Nakamura Sensei do? Starts all over again from the beginning. I just think, what? How amazing. Just started over. Didn't scold the assistant, just started over again, writing his dictionary. As Freddie mentioned, when I was in Japan, I at one point thought, I'm never gonna learn Japanese well enough to study Buddhism here. You're totally lost. The textbook is in Japanese, the lecture is in Japanese. You can't understand the lecturer. Teachers reading in class from the textbook. I can't follow it well enough to follow along. But my classmate next to me, he's sitting next to me. I'm not on the right page, and he just does this. He turns the page for me. Oh, okay. At least my book is open to the right page, 5 minutes later, he does it again. Then the teachers would call on the students to read out loud in class. And of course, the other students could just read. And the teacher was trying to treat everyone equally, so he would call on me, and then all the other students in the class would go, oh. It's like you're in college and a first grader has to read. That's slow. Almost every other character, I don't know how to read it, and the teacher has to say how to read it. And just to do 2 lines, it takes, maybe 10 minutes or something like that. And then, everyone else reads a whole page, but the teacher, I read 1 or 2 lines, and he goes, oh, Harada-san, that's enough, we'll go to the next student. But you just feel like, how am I ever going to do this? And I remember I was in one particularly difficult class learning Chinese. Well, Japanese is based on Chinese, so it's reading classical Chinese in the Japanese way. I'm just totally lost, even worse than any of the other classes. And I don't understand a single word that the teacher is saying. I just have to sit there for 1 hour like a bump on a log. And so I kind of had my head down. I think the teacher sensed, I was kind of struggling. He doesn't say a word. He just comes up from behind me And he puts his hand on my shoulder. And then he goes back to the podium. Just that, just this pat on the shoulder said to me, it's okay, just hang in there. And I didn't give up. So we fall down 7 times and we get up 8. This ancient Japanese proverb, to me, I think it's based on Buddhism, is something we can keep with us. We have similar proverbs in English too, but I really find this one particularly meaningful. I'd like to close my message with just a comment about the tragedy that we all saw in the news this week about the terrible shooting in Florida at the school. Whenever I hear of such tragedy, all the more I feel the importance of what we're doing here, listening to the teachings, sharing the teachings, finding teaching that shows us our 3 poisons of greed, anger, and delusion, and shows us a path to transcend that. All the terrible things that we see that occur in the world are the result of falling into those 3 poisons of greed, of anger, or delusion. And so we see such terrible things that happen in the world, but all the more the importance of what we do here. So I'd just like to conclude, if you could turn your service book to the Loving Kindness Metta Meditation on page 26. Let's read this sort of in light of the news of this week. Okay, page 26, we'll read it together. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Naman Butsu. Naman Butsu. Naman Butsu.